Today, I'd like to explore what is the underlying factor in all relationships and how you need to leverage on relationships to improve sales. This is especially so when you are selling complex or technical solutions. That's right, building strong relationships with customers are key to technical sales success. Let me explain. What is the basis of all relationships? If you were to look at any form of relationships, be that husband-wife or parent-child, between friends or colleagues, the basis of all relationships is trust. If you have strong mutual trust, you will have stronger relationships. If you have weaker trust, you will have weaker relationships. In the sales context, this means that when customers trust you more, it is likelier that they are going to buy from you. Now, supposing that the products or solutions that you sell can be rather complex, even for technically savvy customers, you will need to ask questions to find out what kinds of configurations are going to address the customer's needs and pains, and then present to them how your solution is going to work for them. Without sufficient trust, customers are not going to open up and share their vulnerabilities with you. If they don't trust you enough, they are going to be rather suspicious about the solutions you provide and question your reliability as a vendor. Hence, the more complex solution that you are selling, the more you need to develop trust and relationship with your customers. The myths about relationship building. When someone mentions anything to do with developing good relationships with customers, images of whining, dining, and other forms of entertainment tend to flash in our heads. Why do we tend to equate relationship building with whining and dining? Somehow this has to do with how we build trust with others. We can understand this from the following angles. People tend to be more open and more forthright when they are relaxed, and people tend to be more relaxed when they are whining and dining in an informal setting. Number two, people like others who are like them. If they can find opportunities to share common interests or topics or shared experiences, that builds trust as well. And thirdly, people like to be with those who bring joyful moments. Hence, making customers happy by entertaining them is a way of building trust. However, developing customer relationships through whining and dining is a very narrowly defined aspect of relationships. There are certain aspects that could be overlooked, such as just because you gave a customer a great time does not mean you can take care of the customer's business or technical needs. Number two, you may not have a large entertainment budget, and you certainly want to be compliant in how you deal with your customers. And thirdly, some customers avoid whining and dining with salespeople anyway. In other words, customers buy from people they trust and respect, and not necessarily with the people they like. That does not mean that you make customers dislike you. It just means that merely by making your customer like you does not and will not guarantee sales. How then to develop trusting relationships with customers? So how do you then develop trust and relationship with customers without whining and dining? Well, if you look in how trust works in a work scenario, there are at least two levels of trust. Trust in your integrity that you will not hurt your customers, and trust in your ability that you can get things done for them. While whining and dining with customers allow you to know each other outside of work, it does not help other parties to assess their abilities to get things done, nor the integrity of the other party. So, here are some of the things that build trust with customers that you or your company may actually be already be doing. Number one, you have a reputable company or brand. Number two, you had past experience handling similar industries or situations. Number three, you share technical expertise. Number four, you do product demos. Number five, you got referrals from others, etc. However, these actions, while effective, are just scraping the surface of the iceberg. There are more things a salesperson can do to develop trust with the customer. To build deeper trust and relationships with the customer, the salesperson needs to be emphatic with the customer. So here's a case study. How to build trust by foregoing short-term gains for long-term profits. One of my coachees, John, presented this scenario. The company he's working for imports certain welding products into China. Business was great as the quality and the functionality of the imported products was a lot better than those made in China. Over the years, though, some of those China-made products had improved their quality so much that they are now comparable with the imported ones, but at lower prices. Increasingly, John finds it harder to convince customers to buy his company's products when there are comparable ones in the market at a much more attractive price. After much discussion, we found that customers would still like to work with the salesperson's company as some of their products still have competitive edges over the locally produced ones. Number two, customers also appreciate the company's technical expertise, which customers tap on for technical advice as well as to create technical frameworks. John, salesperson, tends to generate more sales by winning more bids rather than by competing with local suppliers based on price. The company that John is working in is also going through the process of localizing production and will bring down prices and lead times in the next 1 to 2 years. John decided to use some tactical empathy and step into the customer's shoes. He realized that if he's able to maintain the trust with his customers, he would be able to provide his products at more competitive prices and lead times in the near future. However, if the trust is eroded, he might lose his customers forever. So he began to proactively advise customers what products the customers need to import, as that will be critical to their success. What kinds of products the customers can choose to procure locally, as those are less critical and the locally made ones have comparable quality and functions and of course price. Thirdly, which local providers have better reputations than others, and which ones should the customer consider if they wanted to source locally? Last but not least, how to make the transition or integration between imported and locally made equipment so that the customer can have a smoother implementation. In doing so, John faced a lot of pressure and backlash from his managers and higher-ups that he's sacrificing the customer's sales revenues. But however, within months, John found that he was invited to more biddings for more projects by his customers and won more bids as a result. Customers are also giving him more referrals as they know that the salesperson will be impartial when giving advice. The new business generated has more than compensated for the initial loss in sales revenue. At the same time, John's customers are very keen about when they could buy locally produced products from John's company. They like the products in the first place, but they love dealing with this salesperson. They like dealing with John so much so that they would buy from him even if his products are priced slightly higher than the competition. By being empathetic about the customer's longer-term needs, John built stronger trust and hence stronger relationships with his customers that led to better sales, profits, and results. My name is CJ. I'm a coach, facilitator, and consultant who works with management and sales teams to get better results through people. You can reach out to me on my LinkedIn link below. I look forward to hearing from you real soon.